Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. So today we are going to be doing this reading focused in on if this connection is worth your time. So little disclaimer, I am sorry if anything that I say throughout the course of the reading is harsh or hurtful. I am only trying to deliver messages as accurately and as honestly as I possibly can. But this reading is a bit, or can be a bit, no holds barred, depending on what comes out during it. So for pile one, we have this, I believe to be red agate heart. For pile two, we have this snowflake obsidian. And for pile three, we have this yellow mookite. And with that said, let's jump right into it. Pile one. Okay, so again, we are looking for whether or not this connection with your person of interest is worth your time. Okay, whether this connection is something that can grow and flourish, whether this is something that is going to leave somebody hurt. You know, we are just checking in to see if this person is worth your time. Okay, so let's see. Pile one. Is this connection worth your time? We already have the King of Wands and the Ten of Swords, which is going to lead me toward a no answer. And that Three of Cups, things are not looking good. So things are looking as though there may be significant betrayals within this connection. Not only that, but I do feel like this connection in and of itself, you might be trying to, or you might find that your person's a little hard to pin down with that King of Wands. The King of Wands to me can sometimes be indicative of someone who is a little bit more free-spirited, also, to put it in a not so nice way, somebody that could be a little bit of a player. And I do feel like with that Ace of Swords coming out, the Ace of Swords to me can basically be indicating that you already know this, or you've already caught the vibe that maybe this person is not exactly who they claim to be. You've maybe already caught the vibe that this is somebody who does talk to several other people. Maybe this is somebody that you're dating. Maybe this is somebody that you know of, that you're trying to see what's going on in the connection between the two of you. But ultimately, what is being portrayed here with this King of Wands, Ten of Swords, and Three of Cups is that this person, again, hard to pin down, a little bit more free-spirited, that this person is someone, not necessarily that this has occurred between the two of you, but that this person is somebody who either carries a lot of grudges with them, or is somebody who, again, is a little bit of a player, is somebody who's not just a little bit of a player, but a lot of bit of a player, and somebody who would be capable of hurting you know, somebody that would be capable of betraying you, which automatically in my eyes makes this connection absolutely not worth your time. Okay, so now let's get some more cards out here just to see if we can pick up on anything else. The Three of Cups also to me can indicate that this person, not even, let's say, in Three of Swords, but not even, let's say, third party vibes, because now we have two threes out here. So again, with the betrayal bullshit. But to me, the Three of Cups can also be indicative that this is somebody who, it might also be all about their friends. This is somebody that might like to more so party. Again, they don't want to be tied down, I would say is the, well, maybe they want to be tied down, but they don't want to be tied down in a relationship. Let me get you out of here, baby. But you know, they don't want to be tied down in a relationship. They're not looking for a commitment right now. And if that is something that you are looking for, then Five of Wands and Three of Wands. So a lot of threes coming out here today. But anyway, this person, you know, to me, it just feels more like a party vibe. It feels more like this person, again, doesn't really want to be in a relationship. This person might be a little bit of a player, or a lot a bit of a player. Another thing that I'm also picking up on here, though, is that this person in and of themselves might not be ready for actually, I'm not going to even say might not. They are not ready for a relationship at all. And for some of you, it is because this person is, again, more so free spirited, doesn't really want a relationship, is all about his friends, is a player, and so on and so forth. But for other people, I do feel like part of the reason why your person actually isn't ready for a relationship could be because of past grudges and past pain that they are holding on to. They themselves might be involved in, or still involved in, a situation that hasn't really quite completely ended for themselves either. Maybe a situation where they themselves were betrayed. Maybe they themselves, like, their heart was broken. Maybe their partner was stepping out on them, that sort of thing. All in all, it doesn't seem like this person is ready either way that you slice it. Okay, they're either still very much so stuck in, let's say, this like party player type of phase, or they're very much so stuck in their past pain and past hurts, both leading up to the fact that they are just not ready to have a healthy, fulfilling romantic relationship, perhaps in the same way that you are looking for one or that you want one. I would even say, when it comes to, if you also are looking for a good time and not a long time, when it comes to this person, to also be very wary of that, because it just seems like a lot more trouble than it's worth. It seems like a lot of arguments. It seems like you're still getting hurt by this person regardless. I do feel like in that sense, you could, even if you have a pretty clear viewpoint of who this person is, I do feel like your emotions or your feelings are going to get involved in this situation, and that's going to be something that ends up causing you more trouble than it's worth, and more pain than it's hurt, more hurt than it's worth. That Three of Wands also, to me, can somewhat signify that this person might always be looking elsewhere. So if you're at a point where you maybe think that you're starting to pin down this free-spirited person, um, I do feel like there's still going to be conflict regarding you and them. Conflict, like, if you think that you've begun to pin them down, there's still going to be a major conflict surrounding that, because, again, this person's looking elsewhere. And I just would have to say unequivocally, without a doubt, this connection is not worth your time. This person is not worth your time. Putting time, effort, and energy into this connection is not worth your time. And right now, it would be best for you if you do begin to walk away from this person, and if you do begin to heal, number one, because it does seem like this person is not only capable of hurting you, but that they might have already hurt you in some way, shape, or form. And if that's the case, it's time to walk away. It's time to put some time, effort, and energy into yourself and into your own healing, and begin to move on from this person. So pile one, I am sorry, you were the first victim. Do not shoot the messenger. But it does seem as though, pile one, that this person is just not worth your time. Thank you so, so, so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile two, my snowflake obsidian pile. So today we are doing this quick little reading on whether or not this connection is worth your time. Okay, we are taking a look to see if this person is worth your time, if the connection is worth your time in any way, shape, or form. Let's see, pile two. Oh, that was a pretty shuffle. But let's see whether or not this person is worth your time. Okay, pile two. Okay, we start out with the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands. So there's a lot of shit going on within this connection. I would say it is safe to say that it is complicated. It feels like it's been set back in multiple different ways, either set back or delayed. Now we have the Tower jumping out. Too many cards. Too many cards. We've got the Queen of Swords. The Star. Got the Six of Wands. Okay, so one thing that I find interesting with this connection is that, first of all, is it worth your time in the sense that this person might be your partner for life? Perhaps not. But is it worth your time in the sense that it has taught you a valuable lesson about yourself and your self-worth? Yes, it is. So this one is one of those tricky, is it worth my time piles, because we can see that Nine of Wands bringing forth this pretty strong message again that there's been a lot of setbacks, there's been a lot of delays, and I feel like even in regard to this connection, maybe at times, it wasn't either moving as quickly as you wanted it to, maybe at times it was just a lot more trouble than it was worth. With that Ten of Wands, at times there was a lot of stress or there was a lot of burden placed upon you. At times this person, even when it comes to this person, maybe at times they were rather, especially to see the Tower here, at times this connection could have been rather hurtful for you to be a part of. At times this connection could have made you feeling like you weren't enough or like you were second best. Maybe at times there were multiple setbacks or delays for the two of you even getting together. Maybe at times this person like really tested your patience or your will. It just feels like to me there was a lot of, and maybe even still right now in this present moment, there's just a lot of pain with that Tower surrounding this connection. The Tower to me can indicate a slew of things. It can indicate something like deception. It can indicate something like betrayal. It can indicate something also just along the lines of this person like placing a lot of burden, let's say, on you, or a lot of the burden on your back when it came to the relationship, while not really doing anything for themselves. And I feel like at this point in time with that Queen of Swords, you yourself are beginning to have a lot of clarity surrounding the ways in which this person treated you. What this also somewhat reminds me of, and especially because we have the Tower here, we have this burdensome feeling. I'm also getting like guilt or shame surrounding it as well with the Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands combo leading us into the Tower. For some of you, this could have been a relationship that was actually somewhat abusive, if not completely abusive. And the abuse could have spanned. It could have been emotional abuse, it could have been physical abuse, and so on and so forth. And I feel like now you're beginning to see a lot of the ways in which this person did hurt you. You're like, I do want to say you're allowing yourself to see it now, because the Queen of Swords can be indicative of repressed and suppressed trauma. So to me, it's almost like this relationship or this connection has come to an end. Okay? And it's come to an end, and now you're finally able to reflect upon it and reflect upon what it was occurring between you and this person. Okay, and through that reflection that you have, even though it hurt badly, I also feel like for some of you, I just got this indication of like some of you might be watching this to see maybe if this connection was worth your time, or what was the point of this connection. Because it didn't feel worth your time, and it almost feels like to me like you're watching this right now to see what was the point of the connection in and of itself. And that might not resonate for everybody, but that might just be resonating for one person. Either way, I don't really care, but it's like I keep getting this indication of like what was the purpose of this connection, and maybe you threw this on to see why or why not the connection itself was worth your time. And I do feel like the connection was worth your time when we get down here and we have the Star, the Six of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Nine of Pentacles. So now that you've had this time to reflect, and almost like now that it's over, you've had this time to reflect upon everything that you've been through, and everything that this person's put you through. You're finally able, or you're finally focusing on, and I feel like for some of you, you're finally allowing yourself to begin to heal and to begin to move on from this connection. We then have the Six of Wands, which is a card of self-worth, and we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is a card of self-worth. Sandwiched in between them is the Judgment card, which to me is bringing up karma. And I do feel like the purpose or the worthiness of this connection is that even though it was painful, it taught you a really important karmic lesson about your self-worth. It allowed for you to see your worth and to know your worth and to begin to align, let's say, with yourself, or like align with your self-worth, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm saying it in the best way possible, but what this truly feels like to me is that this connection, even though it was painful, even though you went through a lot of bullshit within this connection that you were in, it still taught you a lot, and it taught you a lot about yourself and a lot about your self-worth, a lot about what it is that you deserve. At this point in time, I do feel like you're beginning to heal and you're beginning to see your worth for yourself. And I do feel like, let's say in regard to karma, or even in regard to karmic relationships, I would say that this absolutely was a karmic relationship that you had with this person. I feel like this person, was there or was within your life to teach you a lesson, but a karmic lesson. But I do feel that this karmic lesson allowed for you to begin to see your worth and to see how worthy you are, to know your own worth, to see how deserving you are. Overall, in a myriad of ways, I do feel like this connection was rather tumultuous and rather volatile at times. I feel like you might have blamed yourself for a while until you began to find clarity surrounding this relationship and see how it was that you were being treated throughout it. That's allowing for you to heal. Or it's opening up more, let's say, like almost channels for you to begin to heal. And you're beginning to see your worth when it comes to this connection, and why, in a sense, it was worth your time. Was the pain and the trauma and the burden and the, overall frustration that you felt within the connection worth your time? Absolutely not. But what it taught you was. And I feel like that's the message here for you guys, pile 2. So thank you so much, my Snowflake Obsidian pile, for allowing me to read for you today. I hope that this was able to bring you some insight and some clarity into what is going on here within this connection, and what occurred within this connection. This connection, I feel, was both not worth your time in a literal sense, but in this more so spiritual or karmic sense, it was worth your time because it allowed for you to see your own worth. So thank you so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile 3, my yellow mookaite pile. So today we are going to be doing this reading to see if this person is worth your time. Okay, let's see if this person, if this connection is worth your time. Okay, is pile 3's connection worth their time? We've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Queen of Swords. Got too many cards jumping out. Let's see. Who are you? The Five of Cups. Got the King of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Hierophant. So I'm going to say yes, this connection is worth your time. Ace of Cups and the King of Cups. So we've got two divine counterparts coming out. The one thing that I got from this Five of Cups, to be honest, is that I do feel like it's almost as though you and this person might have found one another after something, like, or you might have found this person after a period of healing. This person might also be somebody that, in a sense, let's say, maybe even triggered your own healing. I'm not sure if that'll make sense for everybody or if that'll resonate for everybody, but that's something that I'm picking up on from this Five of Cups, especially with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. To me, it's almost as though you've put a lot of time into yourself. You've focused on self-care. You've focused on and done, let's say, the inner work That Queen of Swords can indicate repressed pain or repressed trauma, and then we have the Five of Cups being followed by the King of Swords. So the Five of Cups, of course, can be indicative of like, let's say, sadness, of emotional pain, of heartbreak or heartache, and so on and so forth. But I do feel like for some of you, or for most of you, maybe even there was this point that you were at where you were like, where you were either healing from something that occurred in your past, and this person triggered you to do that. Perhaps this person triggered you to do that just because of the fact that you felt like there was some type of special bond that you and this person have. So anyway, just to quickly say, yes, absolutely, this person is completely and totally and unequivocally worth your time. This person is someone that you can have a very long, very loving, stable connection with, a very fulfilling and healthy romantic relationship. This person's looking for commitment. There's a lot of love. I feel like for some of you, this relationship could be fresh, but for others, I do feel like this connection is one that you have had. I feel like there's both messages here, to be honest. For some of you, it's new and it's fresh, and this is more so of a newer connection that you're just starting to get to know, and maybe you're at those beginning stages of healing. But for other people, I really do feel like this is somebody that you've had your eyes or your heart, you've had your heart set on for a very long time. Okay, for some of you, you might already be, or you might be in a relationship with this person. But I do feel like this Queen of Cups is bringing me this message of how you have been, even when it comes to this, like for some of you, you have been single for a minute, or you were single for a minute before you started to date this person. And you were focusing on your own healing. You were practicing self-care. And I feel like for many of you, you still are. You're still allowing or still making yourself a priority in your life. You're still making sure that you're nurturing yourself, mind, body, and soul. This Queen of Swords and the Five of Cups to me does bring up, though, this message of you perhaps, when it comes to this person, needing to let your guard down a little bit. And maybe not even a little bit, maybe a lot of bit. Maybe when you first met this person, or maybe even right now, you're not quite letting your guard down because you're afraid of getting hurt again. And one thing when it comes to love, let's say, is if you like, I feel like there's got to be an expression about how love is a risk, because it's always a risk to open up your heart to someone. You're never quite sure of exactly what it is that they're going to do, and especially, let's say, what it is that they're going to do with your heart. But when it comes to this person, you can rest assured. And I feel like right now you are more so at times, let's say, in that logical brain. You're more so trying to use your power of discernment. You're more so trying to feel or trying to think head over heart when it comes to this connection, because you are afraid of getting hurt again. Okay, and I feel like for a lot of you, this connection is triggering you because it is bringing up your past for you. Or for some of you, it's bringing up your past. For some of you, you're afraid to get hurt again. But all in all, this connection is triggering you, I feel, into further healing or deeper healing, which you're very capable of doing with that Queen of Cups. My other comment that I do want to make, though, with that King of Swords and the discernment message, but the discernment message of it, even with the Queen of Swords, is that instead of, I feel like, using your powers of discernment to drudge up every single reason why you shouldn't trust this person, you should also begin to use those powers of discernment to see or to recognize that, let's say, this person that you're dealing with right now today has nothing to do with the trauma or the pain or the heartbreak that you've had when it comes to other relationships or other connections. So there's a need for you to discern that just because, let's say, just because you couldn't trust partner A does not mean that you can't ever trust partner B. And I feel like maybe that's perhaps further healing work that needs to be done here, because what we do have here is really just a lot of beautiful messages coming through. The Ten of Cups indicating, again, a healthy, loving, fulfilling romantic relationship. I feel like the Ten of Cups is wanting to start a life together, wanting to build a life together. And we have that message right next to the Hierophant, which is a card of marriage and commitment. So this person is very, very clearly committed to you. This person wants nothing but the best for this connection. This person wants this connection to be long-term and lifelong. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, and I feel like the Ace of Cups is indicative of this person being very open with you and being very open with their heart. And I feel like in the past that could have been a problem with your other romantic relationships. You know, maybe you did not feel comfortable opening up. Maybe your person never opened up to you. But this connection today is not that. And then we have this King of Cups here, indicative of you, of this person. Especially, I love the way that you two can meet one another as the Queen of Cups and as the King of Cups. You know, you yourself are very open with your emotions. You yourself are very comforting and kind and genuine and trustworthy and empathetic, and your person is also very open with their emotions, very kind, genuine, open, honest, empathetic. To me, this is really the meeting of two people that are incredibly comfortable with their emotions and their ability to express those emotions. Two people that are also highly communicative and can communicate like adults. You know, that's like one thing that I kept hearing was they can communicate like adults. You know, not that there's not a lot of fun within this connection, but the two of you really know how to speak to the other person and communicate with the other person. The two of you also know how to be there for the other person. There's a huge emotional investment within this connection. There's a lot of emotional intimacy. And I do feel like the physical intimacy and the emotional intimacy is on point. There's a reciprocation of romantic feelings. There's a reciprocation of love. There's a reciprocation, I also feel, or mutual, maybe not reciprocated or mutual, but more so that the two of you share a lot of the same life goals. The two of you have similar core values. And just overall, this is a very, very, very beautiful connection, a connection that is 1000% worth your time. And I do love also the healing message that's here as well, and the fact that maybe you were triggered by them, and in order to help, like, let's say in order to help yourself along your own journey, and maybe in a sense they were also triggered by you, and this is something that has helped them along their journey on when it comes to, or as it pertains to, personal growth or spiritual growth. Overall, again, 1000%, 10,000% worth your time. This is an absolutely beautiful connection. I'm so happy that we had such a beautiful message come through. So pile 3, my yellow Mookite pile, thank you so very much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that you have a beautiful day.